listen to the wind in the junipers and the tales of the shifting, whispering sands. Wild horses on the run into the setting sun and the smell of the leather in his hand.
Hello again. I'm Mike Pickett. Today I want to talk about command versus dominion. In yesterday's podcast, I made this statement. Not everybody can be trusted, but we can all be winners by seeing the good in others, forgetting the bad stuff, keeping the door open for trust to be established, and by accepting and lifting those around us as best we can. Such a positive approach lifts all boats. One cannot lift another person without lifting himself in the process. There was one season in my life when I coached a junior high school age football team. It was a highlight in my life. I've done a lot of things, but I've done nothing that I've enjoyed more than coaching. In order to coach a team successfully, there must be a determination to win, and it is required that a coach has command of the team in order to organize and execute the strategies needed to dominate an opponent. The determination and confidence to win has to be shared with every member of the team and coordinated in a team effort. Some players are faster or quicker than others, while some are stronger and some are more clever and more decisive. The trick in coaching is to incorporate the talents of each player into a cohesive unit. Each player in the unit filling his assignment in a coordinated manner for efficient execution of the plays required to win games. The execution of an effective offensive football play requires that each player fills his assignment effectively enough to contribute to its success. The execution of a well-designed football play is not accomplished every time, of course, but when it is a beautiful thing to watch. The things that prevent the execution of a well-designed play is not just the failure of a player to fill his assignment, but the fact that it is disrupted by a well-executed defense and individual players on the defensive team who are doing their best to fill their assignments that are designed to stop the offense. Stopping the execution of a well-designed offensive play is also a beautiful thing to watch when it is executed effectively. I love the game of American football because it is such a great teacher by experience. A good coach is a good commander. Coaching requires a lot of engineering, but to be a successful coach, one must be a coordinator and, more importantly, a motivator. Engineering is important, but attitude wins more games than engineering does. It also wins more battles. Patton was a better motivator than Montgomery was. Grant was a better motivator than McClellan was. A good coach or commander asks nothing of a player that he is not willing to do himself. Compare Fredendall, who remained drunk in his quarters far away from the front, while his unsupported army failed miserably at Kasserine Pass, to Patton, who replaced him and drove Rommel out of North Africa. Patton motivated his team by convincing them that they were all winners and by fighting with them as an anxiously engaged member of the team. A winning coach will always do the same. On the other hand, dominion more closely resembles the Fredendall method. It is easy for a monarch to sit safely in a castle while his minions fight his battles and take the risks. It is easy for an investor in a military-industrial company that provides products and instruments of war to sit quietly and safely at home while the armaments created by his investments are killing people in a foreign land. It is easy for Allen Dulles to direct the CIA to start a war in Cuba while he and his family went on vacation in Puerto Rico. In the words of John McCutcheon, quote, "The ones who call the shots won't be among the dead and lame," end of quote. They will stay safely in their quarters, counting their money, giddy and inebriated by their riches, their security, and their self-exalting sense of importance. Come ye citizens, dupes and support, your mind or your money aboard. We'll put them to use and make no excuse. We're the powers that be we purport. So give us your taxes, you fool, to use as a despotic tool. We'll start a new war in a country afar and keep secret the reasons we do. All hail the arrogant few and a degeneration of men. We're born of the rich, others fall in the ditch, no matter to us where or when. Their gods will forgive us our lust, for our lust for affluence is just. We'll bring countries to bear, the spoils we'll share, leave the ignorant fools in the dust. We'll control all of those that are weak, deceiving the minds of the meek. Our lives are not lost, so it's well worth the cost to live by the powers we seek. All hail the arrogant few and a degeneration of men. We're born of the rich, others fall in the ditch, no matter to us where or when. Duped parents will lend us their sons, for the war the money's begun. Though they die in the fray, it's a small price to pay for the power and riches we won. Our importance demands that we find our affluence more valued than time. For we are the few, the arrogant few, who rule the old world on their dime. All hail the arrogant few and a degeneration of men. We're born of the rich, others fall in the ditch, no matter to us where or when. We're born of the rich, others fall in the ditch, no matter to us where or when. It takes a long time for the Friedenthal method of warfare to fail in an entire world dominated by arrogance and cowardice. But such cowardly dominance cannot be successful in the long run. It is hollow and without strength. Those of us who stand shoulder to shoulder in a team effort to defend freedom and personal agency will eventually win the Super Bowl of world affairs, while Babylon will crumble under its own weight, supported only by a gigantic house of cards built by theft of the poor and the lies and deception required to hold it up. In any effort to win any contest, whether something as small as a sports event or as large as a contest between good and evil, a good coach is important who will stand with the team in an effort to command and conquer, not a cowardly idealist devoid of integrity and moral fiber, not by a self-exalting monarch who cowers in a place far away from the front lines. The difference between command and dominion is clear. It is only logical. Commanders win, while those who create dominions, similar to the Wizard of Oz, hide behind a curtain of deception, immorality, and self-gratification. A personal psychologist whose patient happened to be the mistress of Allen Dulles, the first appointed head of the CIA, told her this, quote, The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is power. Anyone who seeks to have power over others is incapable of love. Think about it. The same goes for an abusive spouse or anyone else with a desire to dominate. A choice is required by every individual in the world to choose which team he or she wants to identify with. The strength that is logically found with the moral high ground is possessed by a team of winners, not a narcissistic oligarch or by a small group of domineering individuals with designs to control the world and all of its inhabitants. This is Ike Pickett signing off until next time. Thanks for being here today. I hope your conscience is clear and you sleep well tonight, knowing that regardless of the width or breadth of your influence, by your presence and support, you are an essential player on the winning team.
Listen to the wind in the junipers and the tales of the shifting, whispering sands. Wild horses on the run into the setting sun and the smell of the leather in his hand.